Lindsay there. Lots of people are buying those electric dryers.
Yeah, they are. They really are. They're becoming very popular these days.
Because they
Well,
heat the house as well, don't they? It's
Yeah.
good. Now, we've transformed, look, our studio into Wembley Stadium-ish to make Beth here feel at home. Welcome, Beth. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Beth, I mean, look, you've had the most incredible year. Right, now, I'm going to have to read out, I've been given a card to read out some of your accomplishments. Remember, some of your accomplishments. You scored the most goals in this year's Women's Euros, becoming player of the tournament. Ian Wright said, I quote, without Beth, England wouldn't have been in the Euros final.
Oh,
and you've also won the prestigious Golden Boot and have just been crowned England Player of the Year. Yes! So many people would have asked you the question, did you ever think you would be where you are today?
No. A year ago, I wasn't even in the squad to go to an Olympics, so for me to, a year later, have done that and achieved that with an incredible team, yeah, it's still a little bit surreal.
Oh. There was such a huge buzz when you won. I mean, and, you know, young people, old people, everybody across the country, not just England, but all 4 nations, got right behind you. And this is you lot celebrating afterwards. Now, talk us through what's going on here, Beth.
We got told Serena was in the press conference at this point. Obviously, we'd won, and we were very much going to spoil her party in the press conference. But, yeah, we were very excited and, yeah, milking every moment, as you could see Mary on the
why
on top of
not?
there.
And look at this.
This was incredible. Be honest, how sore was everyone's heads at this?
It was so hot. It was like a greenhouse in there at the time. But honestly, it was incredible. But yes, the heads were very sore that day.
It was such an amazing moment. I will say this, right? Obviously, supporting England, I was lucky enough to be there at that final. And when it just said the words winners and then England next to it, I nearly started crying. I could believe it. I could believe it.
You do love your...
We did cry.
We did cry. No, I know, and rightly so. But look, you've got a new book out called Lioness, which, you know, it follows your journey to becoming a professional footballer. Now, talk to me. Why in the book do you feel like you felt so much need to prove yourself as a female player?
Yeah, I was a bit apprehensive about doing the book in the first place. I think at the moment I'm the only current female footballer to have done that. So for me, still, I didn't think I'd done enough to warrant doing it, but it was important for me to write in terms of how far the game's come. Yes, it has, but there's still so much more that we can do within the game, and there's still so many barriers to be broken down. And I also wanted to get across in the book that, yes, it's called My Journey to Glory, but there's a lot of lows and highs in that journey and hurdles to jump over. So I felt it was important for me to share that, especially for aspiring boys and girls to understand that that's what it kind of takes to get to that level.
And as we said, I mean, the Lioness has inspired loads of our viewers, and we've been inundated with questions and comments from our viewers. This is one from Izzy.
What is the secret to becoming a successful women's football player?
Good question. For me, I think it takes just hard work, and a massive one that I have looked for this season that I've just played is enjoy the game and play the game for what you started playing it for. I think football gets so overcomplicated sometimes and you forget why you do it sometimes, and this season have just played like a 6-year-old kid that started playing football again. So yeah, for me it was important to always remember and take that with you. Look,
I like that you mentioned, you know, remembering from the start, because you mentioned in the book it was actually your mum that got you into football first. I mean, tell us about that.
Yeah, I was quite an energetic child. She tried to get me into ballet. Wasn't quite my favourite thing, unfortunately. She tried.
There you are, look at that.
Looking super cute.
What could have been, Beth?
Yes, true. But yeah, she tried, bless her. But yeah, she took me to a session, trying to run a little bit of energy off me, and yeah, I loved every minute of being there, and yeah, that's where it all started.
Now, do you remember, when you think back, who your first coach was? Can you remember?
My first coach officially was a man called Phil Neville. No, not Phil Neville. Phil Nedley, he was called. He was just a local volunteer in my village at the time, and I went to one of his Saturday morning sessions, running around Mole Hills. And yeah, I joined in with all the boys at that point. And he was like, oh, they're quite rough, Will should be okay. And my mum returned, and he basically said I was rougher than most of the boys. So settled in quite nicely.
Well, I'm glad you remembered his name, because good old Phil, well, he's recorded this message for you.
Hi Beth, I just want to say how very proud I am of everything you've achieved so far. I can still remember when you first came to our little Saturday morning football club. You were the only girl, you were very tiny, and we were so worried you were going to get hurt. But you showed with your determination, your attitude, and some quite good skills at the time what a winner you were and what a winner you were going to be.
We love Phil. Thank you, Beth. Lioness is out next Thursday, and the new series of the Women's Football Show is available on iPlayer.
Yes, now